You won't be worthy enough to get a haircut only if you lose a certain amount of weight. This will make you unhappy because you only focus on lack. You only focus on what you don't have and what you are not. This can't lead to abundance. It can't lead to love. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Alena and today I want to talk about self-worth and self-love. How to know your worth and how to learn to love yourself. I've recently found myself in a situation where I felt so exhausted and so hopeless because of what was going on in that specific relationship that I had to stop, and to think about why I let these things happen to me, why I haven't looked out better for myself, why I'm not showing up for myself like, I show up for the people I love when they feel stuck and face struggles. It doesn't matter if it's a work situation or in a relationship or any kind of life situation, really. How you react or respond to life in the end comes down to how you value yourself. And that's why I want to talk about self-love and self-worth with you. Everybody faces some negative beliefs or assumptions when it comes to themselves. We all have insecurities, we all think of us having flaws, we all put ourselves down before in some way. And the worst thing that could happen, that we find ourselves in a spiral of recurring events that seem to prove to us again and again that we are unworthy and unloved. At least that's what it feels like. But it's in our hands to change that. That's why I want to share with you 5 ways of how you can practice self-love and know your worth to be able to avoid those situations and rather live a life full of love and abundance where you never have to question yourself again. First, it's crucial to figure out what your idea of self-worth actually is. You usually get those beliefs taught in your childhood of what you have to do or you have to be in order to be loved, in order to be worth of something. Basically, just seek for ways to justify our own existence. And if your parents, for example, who had troubles with, dealing with their emotional response and only ever showed you love when you did your tasks, when you got good grades or didn't express your needs but rather stayed quiet and put, then you will bring those beliefs into your adulthood, thinking your self-worth lies in being productive, achieving goals, being successful, being humble rather than accepting help or the expression of love from others. And you can figure this out by taking a look at your childhood, but also on how you judge other people. First thing you think about when you meet someone. Do you judge their looks? Do you judge how you think they carry themselves? Or do you judge people by their profession maybe? How much money they make? If they are in a working relationship? It can be tough to dig that deep, but it will give you a good sense of how you worth yourself. Another way of doing this, and I would advise you to take those steps exactly after one another, is to think about your core beliefs. They, like the one and only thought regarding our self-worth that we all as humans share, and many psychologists and therapists and spiritual teachers agree on that, is the thought, I am not enough. And however it expresses itself in you personally, if it's, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not popular enough, I'm not successful enough, I'm not talented enough, it's all the same thing, I am not enough. But we don't earn worth. It's nothing you can scale if it comes to life. One life is not worthier than another one. We come into this world with worth and we leave it with worth. So my tip is to not chase these ideals, to do the things that you want. Don't tell yourself you can't be happy before you're not rich. You won't be worthy enough to get a haircut only if you lose a certain amount of weight. This will make you unhappy because it only focuses on lack. You only focus on what you don't have and what you are not. It can't lead to abundance, it can't lead to love. Which leads me to my third point, which is actually unbelievably essential. Love. Talking about self-love, it is so important to watch your ways with loving others. If you love deeply and like helping others, think about why it makes you happy. It's actually a human need to contribute. Contribution is something we love to do, it's something we need to do. So if you, like to look out for others, do you let other people, do the same for you? Do you let people help yourself? Or do you want to figure out everything on your own? Do you accept compliments from others? Or do you always reject them or react in a rejective manner? If so, you might think you're being humble and you're a good person for being humble, but what you're actually doing is you deny other people their need for contribution. It's got nothing to do with your worth. If you want to give love to others, you have to give love to yourself first. You can't give what you don't have, and you can't attract what you are not. Also, forgiveness is a big part when it comes to love. If you don't forgive people, and most importantly, if you don't forgive yourself for past mistakes, certain actions and decisions, then you do the opposite, which can be associated with self-hate and shame. And yes, if you do that to others, you mostly do it to yourself. So practice forgiveness, practice receiving love, accepting love, and don't accept mistreatment. This is actually a good way to see where you're at in your self-love journey. Look at the way you let other people treat you. That's how you treat yourself. The fourth thing I want to talk about is self-talk. And that's basically the most effective tool you can use, because you can completely reprogram your mind, completely change your beliefs about yourself, your worth, and self-love in general. What's your thoughts? How do you talk to yourself when you succeed at something and when you fail at something? Just observe and then compare those thoughts, so those reactions, to your reaction towards a friend's failure or a friend's success. You will most likely have completely different outcomes. It's how we value ourselves that sets our self-talk. So if we change the way we talk to ourselves, we can change our beliefs. Become your own best friend. Treat yourself like a diamond in the rough. You are full of potential. And of course, this can't happen overnight, but you gotta start being forgiving and friendlier towards yourself. Expressing self-criticism is not only gonna hurt you physically and mentally, but also try to figure out why you do it. Some people like being pitied. Some like staying in the role of a victim because it's easier. Some people think it's the only way people will take care of them. But don't be too hard on yourself. Show up for yourself and take care of yourself. You know best what you need and want, and you deserve everything that you desire. And my last point is actually about affirmations that can help you tremendously in improving your relationship with yourself. Affirmations are positive core affirming thoughts, and they can replace every negative belief we hold about ourselves if we repeat them often enough until saying them and thinking them becomes effortless, just as effortless as all the beliefs you have about yourself right now. But again, don't come from a place of lack. If you regularly think, I hate myself, and then start to say, I love myself every day in the mirror, you will have a hard time believing, because it's the complete opposite of what your mind thinks it's, intellectual. Start smaller and rather change those core beliefs I talked about first. If you want to learn about affirmations and the different ways you can use them, then watch this video of mine. There I explain that in detail. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a tough topic, but it needed to be talked about. And I think it's an even more crucial thing to be aware of now that we go into these next years of awakening. So we don't get lost in ourselves, but can stand in our own power and empower each other to be fully in charge of creating our lives the way we want it. And if you want to learn more about this, subscribe to my channel. I talk about spirituality, psychology, and astrology. I also read tarot every Saturday, and I also post the music that I make. So feel free to check those videos out. For now, I wish you a wonderful day, and